In this video, I'm going to talk about the Recreational Pilot Certificate and the Recreational Pilot License. Let's answer two common questions. What are the differences between the RPC and RPL? Can you convert the RPC into the RPL? Hey, how's it going? My name is Jane. I'm a flying instructor, charter pilot, and skydiving jump pilot in Australia. First, make sure you check out my online courses, link is down below. Second, if you want me to make a video about something relating to flight training, comment down below, and remember to subscribe to this channel so you will see the video in the future. Anyways, let's get started. Recreational Pilot Certificate is issued by RAA and under its regulations. RAA stands for Recreational Aviation Australia, which governs recreational aviation in Australia, while Recreational Pilot License is issued by CASA and under its regulations. CASA stands for Civil Aviation Safety Authorities, which governs general aviation in Australia. Civil Aviation Safety Regulations, CASR Part 61, recognize the Recreational Pilot Certificate as the equivalent to a Recreational Pilot License. The hours in the light sport aircraft count directly towards a Recreational Pilot License. Nowadays, a lot of student pilots will get the RPC, the certificate, first, then convert to RPL, the license, because it's more cost-effective. In this video, I'm going to divide into these topics and talk about the differences and similarity between the RPC and RPL. First, as far as general mechanics go, there is no difference. They are both fixed-wing, 3-axis aircraft. The differences are the number of seats and aircraft maximum takeoff weight. All recreational aircraft currently have a maximum of 2 seats and a maximum takeoff weight of 600 kg. That is the combined weight of the aircraft itself, fuel, pilot, passenger, and luggage. However, they are planning on increasing this in the future. General aviation aircraft can have more than 2 seats and weigh up to 5,700 kg or even more. However, the RPL only allows you to fly aircraft with maximum takeoff weight of 1,500 kg. Most older GA 2-seater aircraft like the Cessna 152 weigh somewhere between 600 and 800 kg, so it's fairly close to the recreational aviation weight. Also, you may notice the registration of RA aircraft and GA aircraft are different. Most RA aircrafts have rego in numbers, while the rego of GA aircraft are in alphabet. Recreational aircraft are usually newer and more advanced than the GA aircraft used in most flight school. The cockpit is more fancy with all the electronic instruments, while most GA aircraft still have steam gauges. This is just a preference though, there is no advantage in regard to flight training. As far as learning to fly and the training syllabus is concerned, there's almost no differences between learning to fly in a recreational aircraft and a GA aircraft. Both the RPC and RPL require a minimum of 20 hours dual time and 5 hours solo time. You will still learn all the fundamental skills of flying an aircraft. If you want to know more about the flight training, check out the video about RPL. Your flight hours in a recreational aircraft can count towards the CASA RPL, PPL, or even CPL. The other major differences between RA and GA aircraft is the cost of learning to fly. Recreational aircraft can cost up to $100 less per hour to learn to fly. Since GA aircraft uses F-gas, which is more expensive, and their engines require more fuel to burn and operate each hour, this means GA aircraft will cost more in fuel. For example, a Cessna 172 usually burns around 37 liters per hour of fuel, but some recreational aircraft's fuel burn can be 16 liters per hour. The cost of the fuel they use is less as well. Also, the requirements of maintenance for RA and GA aircraft is quite different. A lot of the maintenance for RA aircraft can be done by the owner, while the maintenance for GA aircraft have to be done by a licensed engineer, or at least signed off by a licensed engineer. This will make a big cost differences. In general, the RAA RPC will cost around $5,000 to $7,000, and the CASA RPL will be closer to $10,000 to $15,000 with higher ongoing costs. For RPC, you only need to maintain a medical standard equivalent to that required to drive a motor vehicle, which is your car. This is confirmed by you as part of your initial membership declaration. However, if you are over 75 years of age or have a known medical condition like this, then a doctor needs to confirm your health standard with an annual examination and a written statement for RAA records. With the RPL, you need to hold as a minimum a recreational aviation medical, known as a RAMPC, in order to be eligible for a CASA license. This can be completed by any general practitioner. There are ongoing examinations every 2 or 4 years, depending on your age, to ensure that you continue to maintain these medical standards as well. If you want to carry more than one passenger with RPL, you will need a Class 2 or Class 1 medical. For more detail, check out this video about the medical section. In any case, you, as the pilot in command, are responsible for ensuring you are fit to fly before every flight and maintain these standards. You have an obligation to let RAA or CASA know if you become unable to meet the health standard, whether this is temporary or permanent. Certainly, you should never fly if you aren't well. In general, there's no differences in operation if you hold just the basic RPC or RPL without any add-on. You can fly visually by day as the pilot in command. For both the certificate and license, you can get endorsements under your RPC or RPL. It's pretty easy process. You need to complete the flight training with an instructor, then a grade 1 or grade 2 instructor can do the flight check with you and sign off the endorsements. For RPC, you can get this endorsement as an add-on. For RPL, you can get this endorsement as an add-on. The advantage of the RPL is that you can fly into or close to busy control aerodromes with the control airspace and control aerodrome endorsements. Also, with RPL, you can even get other flight activity add-on, such as aerobatics or design feature endorsements that you can't get in RA aircraft. Besides, for the RPC, you also need to maintain a current membership with the RAA and pay an annual renewal fee to exercise the privileges of the RPC, but there's no such thing for RPL. With either direction you take, you need to have a flight review conduct every 2 years to ensure you are still on top of your game when it comes to flying. A pilot certificate is equivalent to an RPL. To get your RPL, you need to complete an application form and follow the instruction on the form to provide evidence of your pilot certificate. Submit a recent photo and provide appropriate proof of your identity. You also need to do a flight review with a grade 1 or grade 2 instructor before you can use your license. Your new license grants you the relevant category rating, aircraft class rating, and design feature endorsements. You are also granted a recreational navigation endorsements if your pilot certificate authorizes you to conduct cross-country flights, and also you meet the minimum flight times. With the CASA RPL, you need to do a few more things. You must be assessed for your English language proficiency by an approved examiner. You also need to have a special aviation security clearance conduct and be issued with a card known as an ASIC. Both these items have additional application cost, and the ASIC must be maintained to keep your CASA license. Also, because you will be entitled to carry more passengers, you need to do additional training and examinations to confirm you understand how to load the aircraft safely. Also, the aircraft system in the larger aircraft are more complex and you will need to be competent on the additional system before cleared to fly. This will normally be done throughout the training process. In summary, RPC is basically the same as RPL. It is cheaper in flight training cost, but you're limited to fly recreational sport aircraft. You can only fly by day. You can't do any instrument flying or night flying. With the RPL, you also can't get instrument rating or night VFR rating yet, but with PPL, you can. To convert the RPC to RPL, you don't need to do any flight test with a flight examiner. It's just aircraft conversion training and a flight review with an instructor. If you have the RPC, navigation endorsement, and intention to get a PPL, you don't have to have RPL to move on to the PPL training. Your flight hours in RA aircraft can count towards the flight time requirements for a PPL. However, at some point during the PPL training, you need to have RPL to fly in controlled airspace and aerodrome for training purposes. Since most RA aircraft cannot do that, except those RA aircraft in Bankstown or Moorabbin Airport, they have CASA exemption to operate in controlled aerodrome. After all the flight training, you will need to pass the PPL theory exam and the flight test in a GA aircraft with a flight examiner. Basically, if flying is a hobby and you are happy with just flying around in only non-controlled airspace and aerodrome with just one passenger, you can just get RPC. Then convert to RPL in the future for more upgrade options. I will wrap up the video here. Let me know if you have any questions, comment down below. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to help this channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.